so I'm here for the grant now.
This is Jamie. I can open this.
You got it?
At this time, I open the public hearing regarding the EZ grant, which stands for Every Student Succeeds Act, Indian Education Grant Application for the Center Riches Union Free School District. The purpose of this hearing is to provide the public with an opportunity to review and comment on the district's application for the EZ grant, which supports programs and services designed to meet the needs of the educational and culturally related academic needs of eligible American Indian and Alaskan Native students. The proposed grant funds will be used to support supplemental education programs and activities that enhance student achievement and promote cultural enrichment. At this time, I invite members of the public to provide comments or ask any questions regarding the district's grant application.
We know you really said.
I'm so sorry. I have a loud voice, so. If there are no comments, I now close the public hearing for the EZ grant application for the Center Riches Union Free School District. Thank you.
7:03 p.m.
Superintendent's report?
All right, good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're going to, myself and Mr. Osorio, Assistant Superintendent for Business, will present the budget workshop number 4, which is actually the budget, the board's opportunity to adopt the budget that we are presenting this evening. Sorry, I should have given you like a signal. Oh, it's on there. Thank you. Yeah, just put it on the slide. Great, thank you. All right, good evening again, everyone. As I said a moment ago, tonight is budget workshop number 4, which is the opportunity for the Board of Education to consider the budget that the administration and with the board's assistance, of course, have put together for the community's consideration for the 26-27 school year. Tonight, we're going to discuss the 2006-2007 revenue and expenditure proposal, the evolution of balancing the budget. One of the things that we looked at is that the budget process is literally almost as soon as you begin the school year, you begin planning for the next year. You plan for the budget, you plan for future hires that you're going to make. So we actually started this process back in, I would say, November, when Mr. Osorio came to join us in Center Riches as the business official. So tonight we're going to look at how did we get to what we are going to present tonight, which is a balanced budget, okay? At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Osorio to look at some of the numbers that are associated with the 26-27 budget.
Good afternoon, everyone. So tonight we are going to review the revenues and expenditures proposal, the evolution of the balance in the budget. That was a team effort from all the administration and the board. We worked really hard these last 3 months. And we are going to present our balanced budget to you guys. For the revenues, it was, as we were presenting like the other presentations, right now we have a total revenue of $56,193,689. As we were explaining, the main sources for this is our tax levy and our state aid, with the condition that our tax levy will remain under the limit, or our levy increase is going to be 2.93%. The important thing to mention here is like our budget to budget is just 1.69%. We will go to our expenses. Basically, like, you know, the expenses, as you guys can see in the chart, almost 50% of our expenses are salaries. The other 26% are benefits. We have been explaining in the last 3 workshops, how the benefits are affecting every single district. It's not just Center Moriches. We are basically having almost $1 million increase in our health insurance. That's why it's been affecting us and what makes this process a little bit more complicated than other years, especially since last year we have like a 0 increase and now we are projecting 10%. The other one is, as always, transportation, BOCES. That's another big number that we work in conjunction with Dr. Butcher, reviewing one by one the codes. So we make sure that every service that we are renting from BOCES are the services that we need. And that leads us to our 3-part budget. As you guys may know, in previous years, we divide in 3 components: the administrative component, the instructional budget, and the capital budget. In the administrative budget, we have a 10% of the total budget. That is like, administrative salaries, clerical salaries, any supplies, any contracts that we have with outside vendors for all our services like legal, auditors, these matters. In the instructional budget is all the faculty-related items. It's all the teacher salaries, it's all special education, it's all the services that they are instructional, basically. That's 79% of our budget. And the capital budget is basically our facilities. Anything that is related to our facilities is 11%, including salaries of the custodians and everything. I'm going to pass to Dr. Soto. So as we did this work together, he's going to explain how we actually balance our budget.
Thank you. So as I mentioned earlier in our conversation, this is by far one of the hardest processes that we have to follow, because it takes, it forces us to really look at our programs and make some very hard decisions that are not sometimes comfortable to make. Because at the end of the day, we have to present what we describe as a balanced budget, meaning we have to look at what we accumulate in terms of our revenue, and it cannot exceed our expenditures. So our expenditures cannot exceed our revenue. It has to balance. We have to make sure that we have enough revenue to cover all of our expenditures. So we began the process in February. I remember Fernando came into my office and said, "Ricardo, we have a $810,000 deficit." And I said, "Oh." I started scratching my head. I'm like, "Oh, I don't think so. Let's really take a look at the codes. Let's see what we can cut out. Let's see what we can reduce to ensure that we present as comfortable a budget to the community and to the board as we can." So we began looking at that back in February. We made some initial reductions to some of the wish lists that our administrators presented. So back in February and March, we did do 2 presentations, and the administrators did present some things that they wanted to add to their programs, add to their schools to enhance the experience of our students and our staff. That was the first thing that we looked at in terms of eliminating those asks, because it wasn't part of our budget this year. So to carry it over to next year would have increased our budget by another $450,000. So initially we looked at insurance. We were originally projecting insurance rates to be increased by 11%. We were going down to conservative 10%, which accounts for about $50,000 savings. We also looked at, when we did our facilities presentation, one of the acts of our facilities crew was to add a new lawnmower. And this was a lawnmower that I think we really need as a facility, but it comes with a $96,000 price tag. So that was, I apologize to Chris Sorrell and the entire crew, but that's something that we can't continue to add to next year's budget. So that came out. We were expected to allocate more money into our 7 reserve accounts. So we took some money from that. We have secondary clubs, middle school and high school clubs. we reduced that number slightly to make up some money there as well. We also looked at some software requests that our teachers had to make a determination as to whether or not it was really necessary for the instructional program, and did we have current software that we're using that might be redundant in nature. We found that there was some redundancy, so we did eliminate those items as well. And then we looked at some supply codes as well, so that dropped our deficit by about $450,000. We still went out to the community in March at the March 25th agenda meeting, and we did present a $460,000 shortfall. So that's when we really had to critically sharpen our pencils. And we had numerous meetings with our administrative team. We had meetings with the Board of Education to look at how would we reduce that. So there are predominantly 4 ways that we reduced it to come to what we are going to present tonight as a balanced budget. The first one was that at this time, we have 17 monitors at the elementary school. Based on our conversations with Dr. Fernandez and Ms. Jackson and others at the elementary school, we believe that we can still get the same amount of support and supervision by reducing that to 14. So that's a savings of almost, I believe it was $25,000. We also have what is called the FLES program. It's a foreign language in elementary schools. Great program. I think it's a great asset for our students to begin an acquisition of a second language. But it is a non-mandated program. It is a non-essential program. So those are the first things that you look at as a superintendent, as a Board of Education, as an administrative team, is looking at your holistic program and what areas are really non-essential programs. What I mean by non-essential, non-mandated programs, it's programs that New York State Education Department do not require us to have. FLES was one of them. The third thing that we looked at is that for years we have had secondary overages at the secondary complex. When I say secondary complex, I mean middle and high school. An overage is when contractually a teacher teaches up to 5 classes. Whenever they teach a 6th class, contractually they get a certain amount of money from the district to go above and beyond and teach that 6th period class. Some of the classes were dedicated to low-enrolled sections, to electives. So Dr. Botcher and I met with the building principals and the team. We critically looked at their schedule planning that they have for next year at the middle school and high school, and we were able to reduce the overage amount by $107,000. It was a very difficult conversation because some of the programs were departments were used to these overages, but we feel that they're not necessary and it's really not going to impact our program or what we offer to students. The last thing, which was really probably the most difficult conversation we had, was sports. We looked at, if you recall at the February meeting, Mr. Thode presented quite a few asks that he had to enhance the athletic program. Most of those acts were transportation in nature, some was equipment. There was a $35,000 act for weight room equipment that we wanted to enhance or really remodel the weight room at the secondary complex. Unfortunately, we can't do that next year, so we cut that out. We did cut some low-enrolled teams as well. None of the major sports that Sunridge is known for. We cut secondary teams in terms of running 2 teams, and one of the teams are really low-enrolled. We're going to combine them. But we do save money on stipends for coaches. We save money on transportation. There's a lot of other ways that we save money. So we were able to reduce sports by about $140,000. Like I said, $70,000 was attributed to all new acts that were not part of this year's budget. It was new carryover requests that were made by Mr. Thode and his team. So that leads us to tonight, we are going to present, and I'm happy to say this, a balanced budget for the community's consideration, the board's consideration to adopt tonight. Yeah.
So after all this work, we actually have a balanced budget now, as you guys can see in my graphic. So revenues and our expenditures are balanced now. And The amount that we are proposing is $56 million, $193,689. Basically, our main goal as a school district is to maintain our programs and like the excellent education that is happening here at Center Moriches. And also we want to include a year-by-year infrastructure updates. That's the main goal that we are doing. You know, last year we have an enormous success with the auditorium with 2 bathrooms in the elementary. We want to keep rolling the ball. These buildings need help. We need actually to keep making improvements because they haven't been maintained so long. And with the help of the facilities department, we are moving forward to the right direction. So piggybacking from that success, we also are going to have for next year a capital outlay of $350,000. That mainly is going to continue helping with the projects in the facilities department, trying to improve bathrooms in the elementary. We are going to do some accommodations in the high school to keep moving the good time that we are having right now with the facilities department. By the way, these projects are like aid by the New York State Department. A portion of them is like aidable in a full reimbursement of $100,000 for the next year. The other remand amount is going to be spread in 5 years, $250,000. And so for the board, as a recommendation from the superintendent, to adopt the expenditure budget in the amount of $56,193,689, or proposed levy, it's $293, that is within the district allowance. Our vote is going to be in May 19. Location is the high school library. And like the next big thing that we have is the budget hearing on May 6th. We will have like some other slides about, and we will be explaining what is our contingency budget in case that things don't happen as we are expecting. And like I mentioned before, the vote is on May 19. Any questions?
Any questions from the board?
No. Committee reports. Thank you guys for your work. Committee reports. I have the Community Connections. John, you want to hop in?
So Community Connections met last week at the high school library to discuss, or actually to present and have any questions about the upcoming budget, and that was it.
Curriculum and technology, I know was updated. Last time the upcoming meeting is 4/28. Did you want to add anything? Good. I will say today was a successful college and career fair, so I'll add that in there as a little plug for that because that is a great thing that was going on. Facilities, health, and safety was last meeting, was the update. Just double checking to make sure I'm not missing anything there.
Oh, I guess I just wanted to
Good.
say congratulations to the music department, and they just won some award, first place. They just got back from their trip, so I just wanted to say that.
Health and wellness, last meeting, final meeting of the year is April 14th. Is there anything there, Shona?
Yes. We got a CPR AED update. The high school's done. The middle school is scheduled. New mannequins were donated to the middle school from the Louis Acapora Foundation. And they're working on a grant to get an AED for the fields, like a designated, locked away, you know, instead of relying on a trainer to get there in time, like there will be. So hopefully we'll get approved for that. And they're looking to update the fitness room. So, and that's about it.
Policy, just to give an update towards policy, we are almost getting near the 5,000 series, which is pretty exciting. This year has been a pretty productive year in terms of policy. So hopefully we'll get back to it once we get through this budget cycle to try to finish off some more. Does anybody have any questions for any committees or anything? I'm saying to us. Everybody's good? All right, so we're at the questions and comments regarding tonight's agenda only. This is the public comment. If guidelines for public comment, this is an opportunity for persons who wish to speak or who have written letters to the board regarding topics that are included on this agenda. Speakers are asked to sign in with the district clerk. The book is in the back of the room. Indicate your topic of comment. Keep your comments brief and speak for no longer than 3 minutes. Refrain from discussing matters involving specific district personnel or individual students. Please stand and speak into the microphone so that everyone here and those joining us on the live stream can hear you clearly. Members of the public will have the opportunity to speak about any topic at the end of the meeting. Does anybody have anything on this agenda? Do you want to come up?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and your energy today. I wanted to speak on the charter resolution that you have towards the end of the presentation here tonight, and I just hope that the Board of Ed strongly considers passing that resolution for the Board of Education Association to support the passage. We do have particular bills in the Senate and the Assembly right now in order to prevent charter schools to be rubber stamped by the state in order to go through, especially since we're talking about budgeting tonight. It's very concerning that we have to continue to cut our budget in order to stay fiscally responsible for the community. And we have schools such as charter schools that do not have to be as fiscally responsible. They do not have the type of checks and balances that public schools have, yet they have a blank check essentially that's written for them. And so that's a really huge concern. There is a charter school epidemic that's unfortunately starting to unfold on Long Island, and we're seeing that encroach further and further east, and they will be on our doorstep before we know it. So I really hope that the Board of Ed takes that concern seriously and votes yes to make that push for advocacy on behalf of the board from the Board of Educations on Long Island, as well as the rest of the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hogerson. I just wanted the community to know the Board of Education is fully aware. I've worked with Stephanie outside of the district in terms of trying to push this forward. It is something that we need to be mindful of. The charter schools, they are not subject to the same regulations that school districts are. They are not elected officials to their board. The communities do not have an option to vote for their budget. And whatever funding a charter school receives, if they're students from Center Merchants, it gets subtracted from our state aid. So it is very impactful. There are the Superintendent's Association of Suffolk County and Nassau County. We are fully behind this endeavor, this resolution. This is why we brought it forward for the board's consideration. I'm hoping as well that the board will unanimously support this because it is going to be a strain on public education as we know it. Thank you, Stephanie, for coming forward.
Turn it over.
Sure. This evening, we'll be, on item 8, we'll be voting for the Eastern Suffolk BOCES administrative budget and the Board of Election. The BOCES puts out all of this for each board and the community in the Suffolk County to vote for. So the recommended action, the Board of Education authorizes the district clerk to record the outcome of the vote and notify Eastern Suffolk BOCES of the result of the vote for the adoption of the BOCES administrative budget. Be it resolved to approve or not to approve the 2026-2027 ESBOCES administrative budget. So I need to hear approve or not approve.
You have my mic.
I will share it with you.
So any questions before? So all for or approval?
Yes, approve.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I just need a motion and then we'll carry.
So motion to approve? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the second portion of this, I'll read out the resolution and now I have two. I'll read out the resolution and I'll do a roll call of the names and then we'll go forward like that. Whereas 5 vacant seats are available and the Eastern Suffolk BOCES Board of Education for the 2026-2027 school year, and therefore be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Center Merchants Union Free School District hereby casts one vote, so all of you together will cast one vote for each of the following candidates to fill a vacant seat on the Eastern Suffolk BOCES Board of Education, and authorizes the district clerk to record the outcome of the election and notify Eastern Suffolk BOCES. The 5 candidates are Susan Lipman of West Islip Union Free School District, Joseph Liscivano, Patrick Medford School District, Ann Mackesy, Sag Harbor School District, Victoria Malloy, Longwood School District, Catherine Romano, Islip School District. So do we have a motion to elect all 5 candidates? Yes?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So I want to take a moment to welcome Corinne Unting. She's a new ELA teacher that I had the pleasure of meeting last week. I had a very extensive conversation with her. I think I had you in my office for about 90 minutes. And outside of the initial conversation about education, about pedagogy, lessons and units and student management, we got into a really interesting conversation, which I really try to, when I sit with a candidate, I try to really get to know the person, to see if the person is a good fit for Center Merchants. Because not only am I the superintendent, I do reside in the community as well, and I think I have a pretty good idea of like the pulse of the community. So some of the things that she revealed to me were really, really interesting. One is that Corinne actually recently graduated law school. So she pursued law. She practiced she's currently still practicing law, but she didn't like it. She did not like law at all, which was not a good thing because my son is approaching his final semester as a law student. He's going to be taking the bar in July, and I'm hoping that he's going to find success as an attorney. And my younger one wants to be an attorney too. So I didn't tell him about your story, by the way, Karen. But outside of that, she loves Neil Young, which is an interesting thing. And she loves baking. I think she bakes all the time with her mother. So, and she has a really very eclectic personality, which I really love, and I think the kids are going to really gravitate to you too, Corinne. So, welcome to Center Merchants School District. I think that you're going to be a great part of the family, and I'm really happy to see what the work you're going to do with our staff and as well as our students and our community as a whole. So, welcome.
I do have a pie for Dr. Soda.
And I told her that was completely unnecessary,
All
but.
about our famous apple crumb pie. It's a recipe that goes back generations. So your apple crumb
Thank
pie
you.
has been warmed
Oh.
up. A little bit of vanilla ice cream is recommended, and Miss Bart.
Okay, we will share.
Thank you so much. I'm so privileged to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
So
Corinne.
welcome to the team. I'm sure everybody, is in the same sentiment. When we hire people, we rely on our administration to really vet and go through the process. We are just here to do the consent agenda items. So really, they give us the who's. So welcome to Center Merchants. And that does look actually really good.
More than welcome to share.
Does the oven work here?
Yeah.
Corinne, I'm just curious, what do you study in law? What is your...
My area is employment immigration.
Really?
So I work mostly with doctors. I work for a small firm. I'm a lead replacement at ESM as well, but I didn't know what next year held, so I didn't feel comfortable giving up my health insurance. So I've been working part-time in the legal field, and luckily it's pretty remote. My boss is awesome. He's been willing to work with me. But yeah, I help doctors with EB1 visas, O1, H1Bs, help them get green cards.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Well, we're happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I feel like I have to go back to school now, but that was awesome. That's just pretty awesome.
I feel like the luckiest person because she's actually my son's current English teacher right now as a senior in high school.
Very cool. All right, so we are moving on to our,
We have to vote for the consent agenda.
I know, that's where I was going.
It looked like you were moving forward, sorry.
The consent agenda, approval, and that should got me stumbling here. So approval of all consent agenda items are as presented. Be it resolved, a motion to approve the consent agenda items 10A through 16C. Consent agenda items are approved via single vote unless they are removed from being a consent agenda item prior to the vote. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All in favor? Yes.
Welcome, Corin.
So now I have to go. Yes, welcome.
You had to wait for that vote.
And then,
Listen, we have a microwave here. And Carvel's across the street.
I didn't see it, did I?
here it is.
I left it there.
I know, I didn't see it.
It's gonna be okay.
All right, so we are at the next general public comment. Members of the public who desire to address or question the board on any topics related to the board work are welcome to do so at this time. Speakers are asked to follow the protocols that were put in place earlier. Is there anybody in the public that would like to address us that are non-agenda items? Anything from any board members that they would like non-agenda? All right. We are at the point of informational meetings, items. So the next Board of Education meeting is our budget hearing. It's not a business meeting. Wednesday, May 6th, 2026 at 7 p.m. The location would be the district office, which is 529 Main Street, Center Riches, New York. Our school budget vote and election, Tuesday, May 19th, 2026, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Our next regular Board of Education meeting is Tuesday, May 27th, 2026. Upcoming district and community events. Wednesday is April 22nd, PTO meeting. Sorry, I started thinking about like why I never did broadcasting club when I was in high school, but now I'm doing it. All right, so PTO meeting, 6:30 p.m. is that Wednesday in the cafeteria of Clayton Huey. Sorry, it was just thoughts, right? April 27th is the Clayton Huey School Musical Frozen, 6:30, Clayton Huey All-Purpose Room. Tuesday, April 28th, Curriculum and Technology Committee is 6 p.m. Friday, May 1st, Saturday, May 2nd, Middle School Musical Matilda Jr., 7 p.m. both nights. Tickets are $10 on My School Bucks or at the door. May 4th through May 8th is Teacher Appreciation Week. Did I get them all? Am I missing anything?
I think something.
I'm missing something, I feel, right?
Tomorrow, Thursday night, you have Foreign Language Honor Society at the high school.
Right? I thought I was missing something. So Thursday night, Foreign Language Honor Society at 7 p.m. What's really good is, even though I'm saying this, we have this really good website that you can always go to, and on there it puts everything on the calendar, so you can always back check us too if something changes, because this is presented today, could change tomorrow, you never know, but just make sure you take a look at our website so I don't feel like I said some wrong information. Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Yes. Yes. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
7:35.
And welcome to the